This is my speech for public speaking. This is our persuasive speech, and this is my audience member. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to be talking about why people should not own exotic pets. I have used 3 different cited sources. Most come from the internet. One's going to give you the health risk and hazards of owning an exotic pet. The second one is going to give you a story on a woman who got attacked by a chimpanzee that one of her friends had owned. And the third one is going to give you just some health factors of owning pets. Okay, the first reason why someone shouldn't own exotic pets is because you have to pick them from the wild. Any exotic pet is going to not come from here. It's going to come from either the jungle or the rainforest or somewhere like that. And people from all over the world are very intrigued by the fact of owning their own exotic pet, not thinking about the safety hazards, the type of sicknesses they can pick up from the type of animals that they get. And also, animals get aggressive the older they get. And a lot of these exotic animals are known for getting aggressive the older they get and actually turning on whoever owns them. That's the story of the woman who got her face eaten off by the chimpanzee that I put in my outline. So these types of animals are actually harder to maintain or to keep up. They require special diets. They require bigger space, especially if you own one like a lion or something like that. The lion's going to need more space. They have to eat certain things, and if their requirements are not met, these animals become vicious and they turn on the owner. Also, some of these animals are born instinctively to kill. They have the natural instinct to kill. So if you're not feeding the animal right, they might turn on you and start to eat you, and the next thing you know, you're dead because of your exotic animal. Okay. Exotic animals also vary in shapes and sizes. Many people will get small birds, or some people will go out and get a grizzly bear or a lion, like I said earlier. People just, whatever they're into. And from one of my cited sources, she even says that depending on the state you live in, depends on where you can get, well, what kind of exotic pet you can get to begin with. So a lot of states have different laws for these different types of pets, and most states don't allow you to have like certain monkeys and stuff like that. So why should people not own exotic pets? According to Hen, the author of Orange Planet, exotic pets are usually purchased as newborns, but a lot of the owners will eventually let them go free into the wild. So these animals will be trapped up, and then the owner decides, well, hey, I can't take care of this animal anymore, so I'm going to let it go free. So when the animal goes free, it puts a risk at everybody else. That's a public safety risk, as is, because the animal is unmanageable and untamed. It doesn't know how to react or how to even be normal in this day or this environment because it's not from here. It's from a different place. If these animals aren't properly met, or the requirements are not properly met for these animals, they could wind up with certain illnesses and diseases that cause them to die or cause them to just be sick and be miserable in a cage for the rest of their life. And also, the author of Orange Planet said that sadly, this means that many of the owners resort to selling their pets to auctions for taxidermy or for like zoo attractions or certain attractions. So a lot of these animals end up being bought and being sold to be killed and get their fur taken or getting their head removed and being put on a plaque. So there's many reasons why animals from the wild should just stay in the wild. They don't have the right food here. They're not around the right environment. And people don't know how to properly take care of an exotic animal. That's something that they should be doing in the wild by themselves. There's dangers of keeping exotic pets as well. Like certain monkeys have HPV or herpes virus. Around 80 to 90% of all monkeys are infected with herpes. Certain lizards carry salmonella, which can cause you to get salmonella from touching them or just rubbing them the wrong way. And one of the authors from my cited source said, for the animal's sake, just keep them in the wild and do not use them as pets. These types of animals are not pets. They're meant to be where they are in their habitat. They can't survive here, and they end up being left in cages and locked up for their whole entire life. Okay, so here's the story of an actual real-life animal attack on a woman named Charla Nash. And her friend actually owned a chimpanzee that she had grew up with from... She got it as a newborn, and it lived to be around 14 years old, and the animal actually had to be prescribed to the drug Xanax, and it had to take medication. Well, one day when Charlotte Nash was playing with her friend's orangutan, chimpanzee, it actually attacked her and grabbed her face, chewed her fingers, and the woman had to go through face transstructure and hand detachments, and her fingers were all on the ground. So, and they had known this pet its whole life. Like, they bought it as a child, and it grew up with them. And as the older it got, the more aggressive it got, to where it had to be put on lethal drugs to even keep the animal alive in the habitat it was in. So these are some of the reasons why I think that owning exotic pets could actually be very bad for the animal as well as the person, because the person can get certain diseases, and it could also be a risk factor for that person's life and the animal. You're putting the animal in danger as well as yourself. So I hope you consider this when you are trying to maybe purchase one. Just keep exotic animals in the wild. Thank you for listening, and it's been a great semester.